on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. Let's go with y'all. Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. Let me double check the mic. All right. But first, stay on this one. There's another pretty important video. All right. So I'm not even going to beat around. I can English. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to sit here and, waste y'all's time. Let's get right into it. You read the title. You saw the thumbnail. What I believe you should do if you are pulled over and you are armed. All right, so this is something I actually haven't touched on, if I'm not mistaken, or at least if I haven't done an actual video itself on it. I might have just mentioned it, in a sentence or two in another video. But getting pulled over, one, is not a fun thing. All right, so let's talk about that right there. I can tell you guys, from experience, because I've been in the car when my family's been pulled over. We've been pulled over actually a lot. Not very proud of that. But my point is that getting pulled over is low-key a scary thing. Nobody wants to be pulled over. You know what I mean? It's nerve-wracking, because you're like, wow, okay, I broke the law, got this cop's attention, he pulled me over. I'm either getting a ticket or, depending how bad it is, I'm going to jail. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And that's something that not a lot of people really want to deal with. I will say I'm not the type of person that hates cops. In no standard am I one of those people. I'm not one of those people that argues that we should defund the police or anything along those lines, because truth be told, without police, we would pretty much be in anarchy. Now, moving on from that, let's talk about the jobs of the police, and I will say how dangerous it is as a whole. So, cops get shot and killed all the time, especially during traffic stops. It's very common. Cops always have to be extremely careful. This is why, to an extent, they don't have to, because they do end up searching you if you get detained and they want to check you. But they also do have to rely on the honesty of citizens, in a sense. And truth of the matter is, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard to understand that these cops aren't asking us questions like, oh yeah, do you have any guns or knives on you? Because they're trying to get you caught up. They're concerned about going home to their families. I will be one to say that, and I'll even be one to go a step further out. Technically, by a couple extra steps, there is a cop in my family, and he actually worked in the county that I live in. And I mean, if you guys don't know, I had to get my Second Amendment rights back because I was a troublemaker as a kid. It was the same county I'd gotten in trouble in before that I got my Second Amendment rights back. It's the same county that somebody in my family also worked for the sheriff's department. So now, how, some of y'all might be wondering, oh, wow, that's crazy. No one would have expected you to have a cop in your family. Well, it's because he's not biologically related to me. He's it's like my stepmom's brother-in-law. It's you know what I mean? My whole point is that I see, the aspect of, police officers and why they do want to make sure whether or not you have any weapons on you. They want to get home to their families. I was getting off topic there, but I had to make sure to bring it back onto the tracks here. They want to get home to their families. So, in a way, they do want citizens to be honest. They have to, not rely, but they really, want to be able to rely on citizens' honesty. If you get pulled over and you are armed, don't make sudden movements. Don't give them a reason to pull their gun on you and shoot you. Don't make them feel threatened for their lives. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't sit there and start screaming, yelling, arguing with them, because there's no need for it. The truth of the matter is that even if they did pull you over unconstitutionally, there are ways that you can get your quote-unquote get back through a civil lawsuit without having to sit there, scream, yell, and escalate the situation more. You keep your hands where they can see them. If they say, oh yeah, can I, if they're like, oh yeah, license and registration, oh, my wallet's in my back pocket. Is it cool if I grab it? Yeah, okay. Just take that extra precaution, especially since you are armed. They will eventually ask you, if they care enough to, oh, do you have any guns in the vehicle or any guns on your person, anything like that? Oh, yeah, I'm concealed carrying. If you have a concealed carry permit or you live in a constitutional carry state like I do, you say, yep, I'm concealed carrying. It's, in this area. I don't want to reach for it and, make you feel threatened or anything. They usually will laugh it off with you. They usually will be like, hey, don't reach for yours. I won't reach for mine. Am I right, bro? And they'll make a joke out of it. So the whole point I'm getting at is you don't try to hide the fact that you're armed from the police. If you get pulled over and they ask you if you are armed, yes, say you are armed. If you feel that they're not going to ask you and you don't want to bring it up, sure, I guess you don't legally have to bring it up. Is it a good idea to tell them just so that way they are aware? So that way it's not a matter of, oh yeah, well, they can make this argument even though they didn't know there was a gun there. You can say, no, yeah, I'm aware there's a gun on my hip. I'm not going to move for it. You know what I mean? If you want me to get out the vehicle, you can take it off my hip, whatever. But my point is that if you are getting pulled over by the police, the last thing you want is for them to, turn it into a bigger ordeal. You don't want to escalate the situation, and you don't want to hide the fact that you're armed. Because truth be told, cops have to deal with a ton of situations where people just get pulled over, the cop starts walking up to the car, and then bah, 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 people are shooting out the window. So I'm aware this isn't going to be a super long video. However, if you just follow the simple steps of don't reach for anything that you're not supposed to, don't make sudden movements, and don't try to hide the fact that you're armed. If they ask you, tell them the truth. If you follow those 3 rules, and are not, I hate to say it, if you're not being an asshole to them, that usually helps. So if you follow those 4 rules right there, don't reach, don't make any sudden movements. If they ask you, you tell the truth, and don't be an asshole, you will have pretty much no issues when it comes to being pulled over and are armed. There may be some outliers or some exceptions to the general rule. However, it is the general rule for a reason. With that being said, I think that about wraps up for this video. I don't want to keep going in circles. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And because you understand these 4 common sense rules when being pulled over and are armed, make sure to check out all my other videos. And if you don't understand it, watch videos of people who don't follow those 4 rules and are armed. And when they get pulled over, watch videos and see what happens. It pretty much never ends well. But with that being said, make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.